So I was looking around online for a gas tank for the Azusa bike, something that would mount on the frame and not on the engine. So when I swap engines out, I don't have to worry about mounting a tank or mounting a tank on the engine, so it's already on the frame. So I found this gas tank from Ghettobike, and it looks like about the perfect size for the Azusa frame. And I like the mounts because I can just make some frame mounts and just bolt it on without having to put straps around it. And I like the neck, so it'll come up through the frame rails, and the fuel line comes out in the right spot. So I want to mount it on this frame, but when I bought this bike, the frame was already powder coated, so I really don't want to weld on it. I mean, I can and just have it re-powder coated. So I figure I can use these clamps maybe and put them on the frame without having to grind the powder coat off and weld on here. So I figure I can put a couple of these on here and just bolt a piece of metal between the frame rails here, or aluminum, and then just bolt the tank to that. So instead of welding on the frame, that way it's just a direct bolt on. And then maybe later on, if I want to weld on it and then get it re-powder coated. But for right now, I'll see if that'll work. So I'll probably take some of this aluminum, which is like 1/4 of an inch thick, nice and thick, and use some of this, so there's really no flex. And that's what's cool about using the clamps on here. I can actually use aluminum, because I don't have to weld it. So anyway, let me figure out where this tank's gonna go, and then mark this, possibly about right there. Can't go up too far, it'll hit the frame rail. So I'm gonna try to go up as far as possible. That way the fuel line's up in front of the engine, so I can move the engine up without interfering with the fuel line. But at the same time, making sure the neck doesn't rattle against the frame rail. So I guess I'll mark a piece of aluminum about right there. And cut it about right there. So there's that one. I'll drill a hole right in the middle of that one, and then maybe bolt this one down and then mark the other one. Mark this one right in the center. All right, so I might as well mark this one too and just drill all the holes at once. Drill this one out. Got the holes drilled in the mount. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the mount onto here, and then bolt the tank onto this mount, and then I'll go ahead and mark the other one. Put this other one on there. Oh yeah, that thing is super tight on there. That thing is not going nowhere. Okay, so let me see if I can bolt that tank on here. Yeah, that thing is going to be super tight. Yeah, there's no need for welding on that, I'll tell you that. That thing is already tight with one mount. And it's got plenty of room out front for the fuel line and the engine to move with the adjusters down there. So that'll work. Let me mark that other piece of aluminum and do the same thing for this one. And we should be good to go. And that was an easy mount, no welding. I'm gonna mark this other one. Okay, let me cut this other bracket here. Go ahead and mark this one. Drill the next one out. Alrighty, got the holes drilled. Bolt this one on here. These things lined up. Yeah, that thing turned out nice. It's gonna look nice on there. So it looks good right there. Let me tighten it up right here. Yeah, so it came out perfect. The neck just fits to the frame rails with a little bit of room on each side. This came out perfect. Have plenty of room in front here for the fuel line. And this thing is super tight, so I don't think I'm gonna have to re-weld this at all. I was gonna go ahead and later on maybe weld some brackets in here and then have it re-powder coated, but I think I'll just leave it because this thing is super tight. And it actually looks nice too. So now all I have to do is put on the fuel line. So now I'll just throw a fuel line on here and we should be good to go. Maybe throw the fuel filter about right there. Okay, so throw my clamp on here. Cut her off about right there. Oh, maybe I'll throw another clamp on here like this to keep the line off the engine. Okay, so that'll work. I'll keep it off the engine. And then later on I'll throw a shut-off valve in there. But anyway, so it keeps everything off the engine. Came out nice. Mounts came out nice. They're pretty sturdy actually. No need to re-weld. The neck comes up through the frame rails. So I think this tank's a pretty good size for this bike. You could actually get them a little bit smaller. They have them in all different sizes. This one here is a 8x5 inch round, but you can get them 8x4 in case you want it a little smaller. I wanted it this size just to get a little extra range. But anyway, yeah, it came out pretty good.